The NBA Finals start tonight, and the Denver Broncos are all about it. Sean Payton's going to be there. I think so many other players are going to be there. Probably Russell Wilson, maybe Pat Surtain, Justin Simmons. The Denver Broncos have caught the Nuggets Nation fever, Henry.
How could they not? Like, it is, I don't know. It is good to see those guys up there in Nuggets hats, but like there was no doubt that Sean Payton was going tonight. Like, there was no doubt that there were going to be other Broncos there. It is nice to hear, though.
Yeah, of course
just get
it
you
is.
going.
And we were just at, what do we call it? The tailgate for the NBA Finals tonight. Is that what it is in the sports world? Broncos week 2 of OTAs is the tailgate, the pregame for the NBA Finals?
I don't know. I feel like that was kind of the main event.
Broncos was the main event?
Yeah, I think so.
And then then the NBA Finals
A little
is
after party.
the post game?
Yeah, a little after party.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're speaking the language of Broncos country right now, Henry.
Yeah. I have so many beers to drink. Like between, we'll be done at 3, tip-offs at 6:30. I'm going to drink a lot of beers.
Wow, like
in that
2
time.
whole ones?
More than two. 2 in the first like 30 minutes.
Yeah, here, what do we think? How many is he putting down tonight?
He's putting down 2 shanties.
2 shanties. I love it. Nothing wrong with the shanty.
No, I'm all for it. This is
Also,
no
you guys
disrespect
can't
to
make
the
fun of
shanty.
me for my beer when you're saying shanty instead of shandy.
Shanty.
Isn't a shanty a song?
Probably.
I think it's like a sea shanty.
I think shandies are like 4 or 5%. I think he's gonna be doing radlers, which are about 3%.
I'm a straight tequila guy myself. So
Straight tequila.
Yeah, there'll be.
Man.
That's actually how we're starting.
Those
some tequila.
are the vibes tonight. Illegal Pete's, Breckenridge Brewery, Denver Nuggets. There was no drinking going on with the Denver Broncos today. It was all business, all work. As Sean said after practice, they're halfway through the last phase of the offseason program. Henry, we blink and it's going to be training camp soon. In fact, is today June 1st? Today is June 1st.
No,
Training
it's
camp
not.
starts next month.
No, today is not June 1st.
It is.
It is June 1st.
It is.
June 1st?
It's June 1st.
How is it June
I thought he was
1st?
playing with me.
It says NBA Finals start June 1st.
Where does it say
Our
that?
monitor says
Everywhere.
June 1st.
I don't look at those things.
On Twitter,
Henry, how did you not know that the Broncos practice we got to watch today was on June 1st? Everyone knows it.
No, it's on Thursday.
June 1st.
It's Thursday.
You know there's
June
days
1st.
of the week and dates
Yeah,
as
here,
well.
get that moth out of here.
first of all,
There is a struggling moth. I mean, it looks like it should have died a while ago.
I
and
wish it
it's-
would.
It's hobbling around. We got some bright lights in the studio.
First of all, Hank just doesn't like
I
animals.
looked. You said
Yeah,
bright
that's
lights,
really
and I
true.
looked.
Yeah, you can't look at the bright lights. And someone's saying that we had a delay of game because of Ryan, and absolutely, it was
Yeah.
absolutely because of Ryan. He's not here. We just said, F it, we're just going live because we need to talk about what happened at this Denver Broncos practice. This is the second OTAs that we've been able to watch, and as we explained last week, we can't say all too much.
Yeah.
But one of the things we can say, Javonte Williams, he's the biggest story of this offseason. He's the biggest story of training camp. He's probably going to be the biggest story in terms of health through the entire season, really week 1. And I have some fantastic news about Javonte Williams. For a second straight week, the second practice in a row that we've been able to watch, Javonte Williams was out on the field, potentially doing even more than he did last week. And that is just such good news. There's Javonte. He was walking around after running through a drill. He was also on the side doing sprints. He was wearing a brace at times, not wearing a brace at other times. But I mean, the news with Javonte is honestly, it's at the point where I still can't believe that he is performing this well right now.
That moth?
Oh
Like
my gosh, I just went about this whole thing about Javonte, and
Yeah,
you're just looking at this
you
moth.
said it all. You said
Hank,
it all.
Talking about Javonte is your job. That moth has a life to live. Let it live its
About
life.
45 days.
Let it live.
Is that how long they live?
Yeah.
That's way longer than I would have thought.
It might have like 10 days left, honestly. At this
It's
point.
not much, but that leg though, it's like 1 inch tall and like 2 feet long. That thing was just walking around it.
What leg?
Like just fly over it of the table. He's
Henry,
gone now.
I'm looking at him right now. This moth cannot fly.
Isn't that crazy? Like somebody needs to tell him.
Well, I think he or she, or I don't know what moths are. They know.
No.
Yes.
I think it's a he.
Yeah, it's a sad day for the moth, but you talked
Great
about
day.
how walking around on one leg. Javonte was walking around on 2 legs, baby.
He was. Yeah. It's good. I mean, I said last week, he's back week 1. That's where my money is at this point, and no reason to downgrade that.
It's really hard not to think that. And at this point, I think there would have to be a setback in order for him to not be back week 1, which still can absolutely happen. But one of the big things about today wasn't just it was a second straight day, but it was coming off where he practiced last week. I wanted to see if he was able to rebound. Sometimes these injuries, especially ligament injuries, you can get really sore after them, and then you kind of miss time, and then it's like, dang, that stinks. We saw it with J.K. Dobbins with a similar injury. He came back and then had to sit out like an additional 4 to 6 weeks after coming back. That does not appear to be the case, at least as of right now with Javonte. So, that's the first person I look for when we get out there to watch practice. And 33, he was looking great.
As far as we know, though, after he goes and does that, he needs 6 rest days, and we just get out there once a week. So if there's a time limit, we would have no idea.
Yeah,
as far as we know, he's there.
It's very true. Even if he's just practicing once a week on a limited basis, still a lot more than I would have thought.
Definitely.
Okay, more injury news. More. Is that your new iPhone, Hank? The black book?
No. This is a book of secrets.
A book of secrets.
You guys would pay
Sounds like
a
Harry
lot
Potter.
about what's going on in here. It
talks
does sound like Harry Potter.
It talks a lot about the Heat and how he really admires them.
The Chiefs.
He talks a lot about the Chiefs.
Just
Jimmy
making
Butler
stuff up.
love notes. Patrick Mahomes
Something about
love
Nebraska
notes.
there, too.
Oh, wow.
not
Montana
true.
State.
That's not true. Alex gave me a look today.
Oh, Alex Singleton.
Yeah.
Proud Montana State grad.
Too proud. There's no reason to be proud of that.
Wow. What was the look? Oh, not a fan of Henry.
Yeah.
That moth would agree with Alex.
Yeah, we should do a TikTok.
Imagine
where
what Alex could do to that moth.
He'd probably be nicer to it.
Not
He'd
as
probably
much
go
as
free
Josie
it
could.
outside, put it on some grass.
We should make a video where it's rock, paper, scissors. If Hank wins, he gets to give Singleton a haircut. If Singleton wins, he gets to tackle Hank.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's
Wow.
a fair trade-off.
that
If
actually is a
I
very
could
fair trade.
get the UM shaved into the side.
Wow.
I'd leave the other half untouched though.
I
just
don't know.
to balance
I don't
it
know
out
if you
well.
want to go that far with it, because then he's gonna make sure the tackle is hospitalization.
But that's the thing though, is only one's gonna happen. He'd have no idea what I'm gonna do till I do it.
So your rock paper scissors game's that strong?
There's more to rock, paper, scissors than people think.
Not quite sure. I
That's
think there's 3 options.
Yeah, but you gotta know which one to choose. Everybody, you can read people for sure.
And you think you could read Alex Singleton?
Like a book.
Oh,
Like this book.
Like your book.
Which you guys all wish you could read.
Yeah, no, people actually don't. As Behan Moon says in the comment section, that's actually Hank's diary.
It's not a diary. Well, I mean, if I had a diary, this is what
Definitely
I'd
looks
write
like a
in there.
diary.
That's fair.
Zach, it's bad. That's just a way to spell bad.
Bad. I'm trying. When I look at the screen, it looks like I'm not looking at the camera, so I just want to glance at it. So thanks for having my back here. Yeah.
Yeah. It is weird to have the monitor on the side. Gotta
On
get
the
used to that.
side, yeah. Criticize you here a little more.
Okay.
I didn't build this studio.
Oh, we know.
So who are you
looks
throwing
nice.
under the bus? You
Who
hear?
installed that? Who do you
Somebody
think-
taller than you.
I did.
Oh.
I thought you didn't
installed
build the
those.
studio.
I did. I just installed
very
those.
confused.
I
Very
also installed the
confused
TV,
there.
but that was a long time ago.
There's also a question, was Elliot Fry there?
Elliot Fry.
He sure was. We haven't
Kicker
talked about him at
talk
all.
In the first segment, Broncos, literally minutes after we finished the pod yesterday, Broncos signed Elliot Fry, who is 5 of 6 from field goals in his career. I believe 5 of 7 for extra points in his career. He was out there today. We did not see him kick any field goals, but the Broncos are going with someone that has kicked 6 career NFL field goals after moving on from someone who had kicked 274 field goals in Brandon McManus. But after practice, Sean Payton made it very clear that the Broncos are still looking, not just a kicker, but every position. He was specifically asked about kicker, and he opened it up to every position, but that was pretty much just to not have to throw Elliot Fry totally under the bus. But I would not be surprised if the Broncos tomorrow, later today, or in training camp sign another kicker.
Definitely. And I mean, it's nothing against Elliot Fry. He obviously won the tryout, first of all. Parker White also tried out. Brett Maher, things apparently went wrong as
Mar.
Is that how we say it now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Luckily, we will never have to say that name again. But yeah, they chose Elliot Fry, and I mean, even Elliot Fry knows that he is not solidified in his standing. I mean, he's played 3 NFL games for 3 different teams. So
He's been with 10 different organizations before today signing with the Broncos.
And again, played in 3 games for 3 teams. So it's good for him. He gets a paycheck for being out there. They get like $3,000 a day, something like that, for being out there for these practices. He gets that. Maybe there's some guarantees in there.
I'd even hang out paying for $3,000 a day.
You don't get paid that much, and you do anyway.
Not enough. Not enough.
Well, I guess he's not dropping any more knowledge today.
So Brandon McManus, didn't he get signed and then immediately cut? And then they brought him back when he was first starting.
For the Broncos a long time ago?
Yeah.
So maybe it's another situation like that. I remember that because I hated him when he first started.
Wow.
Yeah, he was bad at the start.
He was really bad his first day. I did not like him.
Henry, we don't even need your knowledge. We got Yahir dropping knowledge over here.
I'll go drink beers if you want me to.
Leave.
I agree.
Go drink a shanty.
God, you guys are making fun of me for not being able to drink beers, and you don't even know the name of it.
I know. It's called a bit, Henry.
Okay, it is now.
Unfortunately, we've only got to see a bit of Randy Gregory on the field. He was here last week, not there today. Also, Baron Browning not there for a second straight week. So Broncos without potentially their starting outside linebackers today. And with Baron Browning, it's like we don't really know what's going on. Last week when we asked Sean Payton about it, he said, I've talked to everyone that wasn't here. And the only person that he made an additional comment on was Kareem wasn't there last week and said Kareem will be there today. Kareem was there today. In fact, we've got a photo of him out there. And
that's your cue, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we call I teed you up. There's no photo? It's a video. Oh, okay. I thought, here I believed in you a little more. But Kareem Jackson wearing number 22. But with Randy Gregory, we did see him out there last week. Did not see him out there today. And I think everyone's just a little on edge with how Randy's going to his availability this year. So just some guys that weren't out there. And as Kareem, wow, just a strip sack master. Is that what we call this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It looks like this was shot in stop motion or whatever.
Somebody did a bad job, that's for sure.
I mean, my iphone did a bad job.
Okay.
Apple did a bad job. That's the case. Or it's his internet. Or it's Shahir. He wanted to make me look bad.
Well, I guess we'll never know. We just got to blame Zac for now.
No, we're blaming Apple, which I'm fine with.
No,
we're blaming Zac.
Can we sue them?
I
got a lot of money.
I think they would win
Back
that
in the Shanker
one.
call 222.
If you need to sue because they messed up your photo, smashed the 2. A couple of other injury notes. DJ Jones did not practice last week. He was doing more this week. We learned after practice last week that he and Mike Purcell had off-season surgeries. Mike Purcell not practicing. He was out there, but just wearing a sweatshirt. So it was good to see DJ Jones kind of take a step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. And with Randy, it's still voluntary. Like I'm much happier not seeing him at all than if we had seen him just on the sideline or over on the side field. So I think that's a good sign. Probably just means he's not around, which again, you never love, but it is what it is. And Baron Browning, same thing. I'm not really worried about him. Worst case scenario, he's off at some recovery thing from a surgery he just had, and that's why he's not. But odds are he's just not here because he's busy.
Yeah, and I hope that's the case. And it seems like Sean is open to guys missing practice. He just seems like he's very dialed in on why guys are missing practice. Let's dive in to practice a little more after I tell you about our friends over at Pins and Aces, where they are the official apparel or golf apparel company of ALLCITY and DNVR. We love our Pins and Aces gear and get tons of compliments when we're wearing them on the course and also off the course, as I can vouch for. And if you use the code DNVR over at Pins and Aces, you're going to get 15% off. And I don't golf that much, and I still rock Pins and Aces because it is the comfiest polos that you can have. And also, the designs are just off the charts cool. So go to Pins and Aces, use that promo code DNVR to get 15% off. Not just golf apparel, but anything you need for the golf course. Check them out.
And head over to Shady Rays because Pins and Aces actually does not have sunglasses.
True.
So it's kind of a perfect combo. I was wearing mine today. I haven't had a chance to look. It doesn't look like I have any sunglass lines, but we'll find out later when I can get in front of a mirror.
I thought you forgot your sunglasses.
No,
You literally said that at practice today. You're like, I forgot my Shady Rays.
that's not true. What? Turn your ears on. No.
Yeah, here, who do you trust more?
I think it. No, it was. You were like.
I can't. I don't know. Like, I
Wait,
really
so
don't know.
if
on
you
this
have
one.
your Shady Rays, show them to me.
Well, they're in the car.
Oh,
But I was wearing them the whole time.
excuses. Okay, yeah, here just.
I didn't want to touch the lenses.
Wow. You just dropped them, almost
I
broke
slowed them
them
down. I didn't almost.
Are those the
break
ones you
them.
have?
No.
Yeah, these ones look better.
Okay.
Just
there we go.
kidding.
There we go. Love this. But I was wearing them, but I also thought for a minute there was a time when the sun came back out about 2/3 of the way through when I was like, I should probably take these off for like 5 minutes and just get a little sun here just so it's not like a crazy difference. So I did that, and I think I told you about that, but you're kind of like looking the other way, so I kind of tailed off halfway through what I was saying because I was like, oh, Zach's not listening
So
again.
you did say that.
No, I
I'm
didn't say
always
I didn't have
listening to
them.
you. I just at Broncos we just can't have eye contact all the time.
Oh,
especially
that's not a
especially
rule.
wearing your Shady Rays.
I wasn't. That's the point of the story if you had been listening.
See, I knew you weren't wearing your Shady Rays. I was right.
Yeah, you looked at me for 3 seconds in the day I was wearing them, even when it was all shady and gross. Because they actually call them Shady Rays because you can wear them in the shade too. They're great sunglasses though, and if you go to shadyrays.com, you can get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses if you use the code DNVR. So get on over there and do that and give them a 5-star rating like 250,000 people already have.
Man, I wish 250,000 people have given us a 5-star rating on the podcast side of the show, or 250,000 thumbs up on this show would be incredible. We'd really appreciate it if you hit us with a thumbs up. Really helps us out. We've actually already started to pop off on the thumbs up so far. Really appreciate that. Is it because Ryan's not here? Is it because of the back and forth bickering that you and I and you here are having? Do people like that? Or
I haven't done shit.
is it another B? Is it
Hey,
because we're in
Because
Studio B?
I also just
And
gave us
a lot
the
of
like.
people asking where we are today. We're in a secret Studio B, the newly released Studio B. Looks incredible. Shout out to everyone who made this.
just like
Look
Tyreek McAllister.
amazing. What?
Newly released.
Damn, why you gotta do Tyreek McAllister? He just lost his job, and we're sitting in a cool
Yeah, that
studio, and you
wasn't
gotta
nice.
put those two together.
Hank stands outside the unemployment line, just making fun of people.
They've already cut him like 3 times and he keeps coming back.
He's like a
Because
moth,
it's a job.
right?
Like, yeah, where'd that guy go?
It's a job. Of course, it's gonna keep coming back. Yeah, like
Really good job. One that pays,
Yeah.
Hank said, $3,000 a day.
Did you build the studio?
no, I didn't.
I
told us
forgot.
that before.
Well, now please plug this
forgot.
in because I want to be able to use these.
The one in the middle works. The one Zach's I think works.
That's not okay. Cool.
So we're in the awesome new Studio B. I believe Buffs was in here yesterday. Betts may have been in here as well, but we're debuting it on
Buffs
our
Bets
show.
Broncos B.
Yeah, and also speaking of the Broncos, Henry, tell us what we can hear from today's practice. And I don't mean like
Ooh, there was
what we
thunder.
could hear. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that.
Oh.
I meant tell us what you're allowed to tell us so that I don't get a phone call
Not again.
to reprimand you for saying too much.
That is true.
A flashback to a week ago.
Yeah, that was a rough one. Notice how many tweets I sent today.
Not many.
None yet.
Oh, smart man.
Let's see. This is week 2.
I agree with you, Alex Roberts, in the comment section.
Let's see. We already touched on the injuries. Here, let's just go through some of the numbers of guys who made plays. We can't say what those plays were. You'll just have to imagine.
Well, okay.
But here's what I can say: Drew Sanders, the athleticism,
Yeah.
the vertical. You think for an inside linebacker, like jumping and stuff doesn't matter all that much? Oh, it can show up.
Well, and one of the things that when I watched him on tape at Arkansas, they said he's really good at stopping the run and he's really good at rushing the passer. So what did they have him do? They had him do those two things. They really kept plays in front of him. And so he didn't get much experience when plays would be behind him, how to react to that. But I'll say the first 2 weeks of OTAs, I've been really impressed with how he handles when the ball is
Yep.
going over his head
Yep.
and how he adjusts to that, whether it's before the ball is thrown or when the ball's in the air.
The man is a leaper, not a leper.
That's for sure.
Also, there was, let's see, how much am I willing to say? In the most important period of the day,
Yeah.
there
You
were
wanna
some.
whisper everything to me, and then I'll give you the green light or not.
Brandon Johnson made a play in the most important period of the day. Marcus Callaway, I think is actually how you say it.
That's what Sean said today, Marcus.
Yeah, it's Marcus Callaway. So Brandon Johnson, Marcus Callaway, they made plays. Jaquan McMillan also, Damari Mathis, Cortland Sutton. Those are some of the ones that I just had notched down from.
Yeah.
But he said third down period.
Yep.
So third down period. There's some
Yep.
guys who made some plays in that third down period.
Yep, third down period is what they worked on today, and Sean Payton talked about that after practice and just saying how the defense is going to be more aggressive on third down. And when asked about Russell Wilson, is when he pointed to the third down period, said Russ has been doing well. It's only been compliments for us these first 2 weeks, which is nice to hear from Sean. It's not massive compliments. It's literally like last week, I think he said he's done well. And this week he said he's done well as well. And so and that's kind of how I would assess Russ. Not that we're allowed to assess him any other way. But I kind of agree with Sean Payton's assessment. It's not like he's been mind-blowing good or mind-blowing bad. He's been doing fine.
Is his rightometer right at a 3? Or what would you guys put it, 1 to 5? Where is he at right now?
Well, what did you just guess?
3.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to give too much away, but yeah. You hear you.
He is number 3.
You're on the right track.
Also,
Yeah, number 3.
I don't know. I get to ask questions.
Yeah,
I wasn't
exactly.
there. You guys can just respond.
You get to assume.
Exactly.
Henry, one of the names that you mentioned there, though, as Jared says, Hung Young Johnson. Shout out to Justin Outen. Keep your eye on him.
Yep.
At least through the first 2 OTAs, he is really making an impression, not just in our eyes, but I believe the coach's eyes as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been some young guys who've been in that situation. I'd also circle Usang Bassi. I'd circle that one. I think that's a guy who has stood out in a couple ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned young guys.
Yep.
There's the player of the day, both on
I was giving you that one.
and off the field, Greg Dulcich.
Yes.
You remember Greg Dulcich from last year being the long hair, blonde kid. Well, not blonde, but long hair, wavy.
pretty blonde.
That's kind of dark, I think.
I mean, dirty blonde.
Well, if I say dirty blonde, it goes better in this story, from Southern California, showing the short shorts, not afraid to let his legs show as he runs open down the field. That's what he was doing today. And Sean Payton has not given Greg Dulcich really any compliments this entire offseason until after practice today. Greg Dulcich had probably the best day of any Bronco on the field today, at least from a positional value, or at least from a skill player position. He caught a deep pass in the middle of the field. That's probably all I can say, but it was biggest play of the day, most impressive play of the day. And then he also had a couple of other catches throughout the day. He had a really good day highlighted by that one deep catch. And then after practice, Sean Payton really opened up about him and said that he's the Joker for this team right now. And Henry, what does the Joker mean? Because I don't think he's saying he's Nikola Jokic on the football field. Maybe he is.
Be a bit of a stretch at this point. Honestly, Jokic has better hands still too, which is kind of crazy. Best hands in the league. But that's not a Dulcich thing. That's
any league.
In any.
There we go. Now
baseball
it makes
players
it
get
feel
to use a
better.
mitt.
Yeah,
But if they didn't have a mitt, they wouldn't be able to catch. So that they don't even count.
It's true.
baseball players aren't real people.
Wow, that's kind of mean.
I think it's fair though.
I played baseball for a long time, so I know.
Wow.
They're not real people, not just like they're not athletes.
No,
You're saying
they're
not
athletes.
people?
They're athletes, just not people. There's a difference.
Yeah. When I
That's a tough
heard
one.
when I heard Sean say, so somebody asked about Greg Dulcich and Sean used the Joker word, and that's when I was like, ooh, I like where this is going, because Joker, that's usually a position in on defense, and it's particularly a position in college football. So a lot of time it's kind of like that slot guy, like the Buffs for a while is Davion Taylor, who he's like a linebacker who ran like a 4.3 something and got drafted super high because of it. It's like, oh, you can rush him off the edge, you can drop him in coverage, you can play man, you can play zone. And so that's what the Joker is usually. But Sean Payton obviously has an offensive Joker, which is kind of that same thing where what position is he? Don't give him a position. There's no reason. He just does this very unique thing, and it kind of dictates what the offense does, or it forces the defense to make a decision, which dictates what the offense does. So I've talked about this before on this podcast, but that's like the whole philosophy of the Sean Payton offense is you go out there, you show them a bunch of different looks with a whole bunch of different kinds of personnel. You might have Greg Dulcich and Albert O next to each other and then see, oh, they're coming out in their base defense because it makes sense. 12 personnel, you don't go nickel, you play in your 3-4.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then you say, ooh, these guys are too good of receivers for you guys to be able to cover what we have on the field right now. And so you kind of have that tell. And that's what the Joker is. More detailed, like he said, you have to have exceptional hands because, again, it's like a receiving playmaker type. And he brought up names like Reggie Bush and Darren Sproles and Alvin Kamara, which are all running backs, which is interesting. And I don't necessarily think that means you're lining them up in the backfield because you just think back to all the times where Kamara lined up out wide, where you just flex him out there, and then you say, and you do that because it's a linebacker. You see, like, oh, they've got a linebacker count for him. Get him out there. He's going to win that one-on-one every time. So that's what they think of with Dulcich.
And those are three huge names to compare Dulcich to, and obviously in a different position. But with that, what can all three of those guys do? Alvin Kamara, great running back, but also great out of the backfield. They can catch. They can all do multiple things. And that's what Sean Payton thinks Greg Dulcich can do, which is huge because Greg Dulcich's third-round pick last year. The Broncos' second pick in the draft after not having a first-round pick by trading it away for Russell Wilson. The Broncos needed to get something out of Greg Dulcich this year for that class to be a good class. And apparently Sean Payton does like him and is using him. We got to see that today.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. Like, just when Sean Payton actually talks about that stuff, where you can like go back and read through the interviews from 10 years ago where he's talking about it and you're like, this is how it works. But then to have him say like, Greg Dulcich is this guy. You're just like, oh, Greg Dulcich is that guy. That's how you're going to use him. Because we're still like 5 months away it's 100 days. It's like 100 days until the Broncos start.
About 3 months or so.
Yep. Yeah. Remember, it's June 1st.
Okay, let's not
We got into that
too deep
about
into the
30 minutes ago.
Also,
days.
I also feel
Thursday.
like Greg Dulcich could be called Dulcich de Leche.
Oh,
Wow.
because he's
He's a little
delicious.
sweet, he's
yeah.
He's also so white.
You know,
like remarkably.
you know who would love that nickname?
I have no idea.
Greg Dulcich. I think
Yeah.
I think he would love
too.
that nickname.
Dulcich de Leche is my favorite.
You know
nickname
who
from
would have
last
given
year.
him that nickname?
Hackett.
Hackett.
He would have loved that.
Yeah,
if you told Hackett, he'd still be laughing.
Yeah. Again, there's a reason I didn't say it last year. I did not like Hackett.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, it's no longer Nathaniel Hackett now. It's Sean Payton actually talking good things about Greg Dulcich and just really big because they brought in Chris Manhertz. And you're like, okay, probably.
Yep.
By the way, Chris Manhertz was not spotted today. No, he was. He wasn't practicing.
Yep.
But he was at the facility.
Yep.
We saw. But now the Broncos, if Greg Dulcich can continue, and it's not just this year. When Greg Dulcich played last year, he was really good. Really good. It was just that availability thing. So staying healthy, just kind of like Randy Gregory, is going to be a huge thing for him.
And the one thing he really struggled with was the blocking. Again, like it's not an effort thing. It's just that he wasn't good at it. And, that's why tight ends, they get really good when they're 27, 28, because now they're like grown men who've been in weight rooms for a long time. But the point is, Sean Payton actually brought that up. It's like he can do a lot of the receiving things and blocking. There's some things we can do, which, it's not saying we're going to run behind him. It's we can find a way around the fact that he's on the line of scrimmage and technically has to block. Like there's you run a little trap, you do something like that. So they do have that in mind.
Yeah.
It's not the Nathaniel Hackett. Well, the play is the play, and it's Alberto and Greg Dulcich out there. We're just gonna run behind him and we're gonna lose 3 yards, or even run the other way, and they'll still let the run get blown up.
Yeah, you're pretty upset. And Henry, something on your mind, I know that's on your mind that will get you not upset. Check out our friends over at Illegal Pete's, the pre-game spot for the Denver Nuggets NBA Finals. Probably the place to watch NBA Finals if you're not able to make it to the one and only DNVR bar. And also your place for post Nuggets games. Now that they're starting at 6:30, you could even go for some dinner, some drinks after. And if you do, make sure to bring your ticket because Illegal Pete's does such a cool thing. If you go to a concert, a sporting event, a game, and you bring your ticket, you're going to get a free drink with the purchase of food, and their drinks are just to die for. Specifically, their margaritas. So good. They even have a drink, Hank, called the Chauncey. I believe it's named after Chauncey Billups.
That's a good bet.
It's their marg with, I believe it's mango vodka infused in it. It is so freaking good. And actually, friends out of state have been talking about it because they just thought it was so good. So make sure to check out Illegal Pete's, not just for great drinks, but also the best queso that you're ever going to find. Illegal Pete's is delicious. We all love it, so check them out.
I think that's going to be a post-game move tonight.
Yeah.
Just go over there, get a quesadilla, and get a marg. Just an end of the night.
A winning marg.
Hopefully a winning marg.
And then you know what? My guess is you won't even be on the pod tomorrow. You'll be so hungover.
That's not why. It's because my sister graduates from high school on Saturday.
Nice excuse. We'll see if you're on the pod tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to be on a plane early, which is much worse. I wish I was on the pod.
Yeah, here. Do you think Henry's going to be on the pod tomorrow? Yeah, no. Just why? Hungover?
Honestly, he's one of those guys that I don't think he loves ball.
Yeah,
it's just
I
one
agree.
of those guys that like.
Yeah.
You're talking like you're holding a microphone, but you're not.
I am holding a microphone because I don't have it here.
Well, you look silly. It's a headset.
I wish we could get a Yahir camera.
Oh, we can.
Oh, we can. We need. You all need to
Wow.
see how Yahir's talking into this camera or talking into his mic right now because it does look pretty ridiculous.
If I can fix it, I'll show you. You guys can continue. Let me try to get it out.
Okay.
And I believe Yahir is actually going to be looking at game time tonight to try to get into this Nuggets game.
Wrong read, but that's okay.
Scroll down too
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
It's
Don't
okay.
worry, I'll take the game time one later.
Okay. Wait. So what do I do now? Breckenridge Brewery?
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, here, I thought you were going to have a conversation with Henry about these reads, looking at them before the show.
There's no conversation to be had.
I can do it every day. I don't get paid enough.
So, yeah, if you need some beer, get some Breckenridge beers. You can get them at the bar. There's actually a bunch of specials at the bar tonight. The $4 Fun Slinger is definitely the best deal. It's a deal I've been taking advantage of for quite a while now, like 3 weeks. There's also Breckenridge beers at the arena. I'd imagine I'm going over to Arcades before the game. I'd imagine there's going to be some Breckenridge beers there.
Wait,
and then
he's not on the show, but you're going to party at his house?
Yep.
I'm going to have a word with him.
Feel free. Just don't include me.
Just kidding. I'm going to say that you threw him under the bus.
Wow. I will say.
In front of all these wonderful people tuning
meetings.
in. Oh.
Meetings.
Hey, shut. Yeah, here, clip this.
I don't know anything, but.
Oh, there we go. No, that's not. Yeah, that's
this
how
how
you
I'm
do
holding it.
So here, you know how it's supposed that the thing is made to be put on your head and over your ears.
Pretty clever
and
design.
And then you know what? You don't even have to hold the mic. It just sits right in front of your mouth.
It's very true, and I believe that. But who's the producer here? Who has more technical savvy? Me. So I'm gonna hold it how it feels more comfortable. And you know what? I just really enjoy this position. If I'm completely honest with you.
You know what?
Wow,
if you enjoy
that's the position
if
you
you enjoy a
like.
position you hear, you just stay with it, man.
I stay with it. Also, anybody that's listening to it on a podcast platform, because this is a podcast, go to YouTube, see how it looks.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. There's the position. So drink some Breckenridge beers. If you want to find some near you, go to breckbrew.com and just plug in your zip code. It'll tell you all the beers nearby, and you can just go pick them up from the grocery store, or gas station, or wherever it says to go.
Henry, any other news and notes that we can share that the people need to hear from today?
Wow, let's see.
Remember, things that won't get you in trouble.
Won't get us in trouble.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yes, ask away.
How big does the offensive line look?
Oh my
they
gosh,
look so big.
They look ginormous. I mean, Garrett Bowles, thank you. Great tee up here. They look monstrous. Garrett Bowles is in the front, and he is smaller than 74. He is smaller than 69, Mike McGlinchey and Ben Powers. And typically, with the way cameras work and eyesight works, and that works, the person who's in front should look the biggest. And those guys still make Garrett Bowles look small. This offensive line is massive.
Yep. You even get Quinn Miners way back there, but massive. I'll say I think that there's a play that Riley Moss may want back.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't want to. We can't be just giving out hard thumbs downs. But if we're saying thumbs up or thumbs down, he probably had a thumbs down day for sure. Let's see. You got the Dulcich thumbs up. Sternad probably earned a little thumbs up. I can't give Jalen Virgil a thumbs down. We already got the Sanders thumbs up. Oh, Nick Benito. We got a question about Nick Benito today. I'd give him a thumbs up for today too.
Okay.
I think if I had to give one out, I'd say thumbs up for him.
Okay. I like that. You've already mentioned Jaquan McMillan, but I just got to give him a shout out. He's been all over the field in plays and making plays last week and this week. Number 35. Keep your eye out for him because he's all over the field. Maybe that's going to go away, but right now he's impressing.
And I think, he's one of those guys where obviously, so he was really good in college, goes to camp with the Broncos last year as a rookie, winds up on the practice squad. They leave him there all year until week 18. He finally gets to play. And they actually let him start that game. We've talked about that game quite a bit from him because he made some really big plays. And he wasn't perfect, obviously, but if we're comparing his first game to Damari Mathis's first game, Jaquan McMillan had the much better first game. There's that.
Yeah.
So there's that backstory. And obviously the Broncos have a history of undrafted guys being successful. Chris Harris is a cornerback in particular, immediately comes out and is successful. But to have guys like that, you need a good coaching staff. First of all, there's the development and all that, but there's also the recognizing the talent portion. And it makes me wonder if, a veteran coaching staff last year might have said, hey, let's just get Jaquan McMillan in a little bit earlier and see what he has. And I wonder if this coaching staff thinks they might have found something that the last staff missed last year and think that they might actually have a legit cornerback to add to that room. At least that's what I'm thinking after a couple weeks.
So what you said is totally fair, but you don't have to convince yourself that just because he wasn't on the roster last year means he wasn't good or that there was a coaching staff issue. Shaq Barrett, I believe, was on the Broncos practice squad his first year in the league and then exploded, obviously, after that. So Jaquan McMillan might have just needed more time, especially coming from a smaller school. So, but definitely keep an eye on him. A couple of more things from practice today. Henry, one of them, Sean Payton's just doing things that make sense when practicing. He's splitting up the first and second, third and fourth team. So he's having the first and second team on one field, the third and fourth team on another field. And then that just allows double the reps for everyone. So the first team's going up against each other, then the second team on field A, and then on field B, it's the third and fourth team going up against each other. That just makes so much sense. Everyone's able to get so much more practice time in, and there's a lot fewer people just waiting around, especially when you have 90 men on your roster now and through training camp. You can do that, and you should do that. So it's just one of those things that just makes so much sense that Sean's doing that we haven't seen in the past.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I think people get really caught up in coaches just designing schemes and calling plays. But that is a very small part of what a coach does. Again, you're a coach. You're out there coaching players up. You are coaching them. You're trying to make them better and improve and technique and all that. You can call a bad play and get away with it if your players are really good. And it's up to the coaches to make those players really good.
Right.
And I think that that's something that this staff in particular is really good at. There's just a bunch of veteran coaches, and Sean Payton obviously being one of them. He can bounce around to a position group and just say, hey, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what needs to be better. Then bang, he's gone off somewhere else. And the other coaches are like, guess what, guys? Here's what we're working on. We are doing this. Everybody lock it. Just having people who know a lot more than just, if we run these 3 routes like this, it's going to be open against every coverage.
Right.
There's so much more to it. And this is just such a veteran coaching staff that really can coach a team up.
Yeah, as we saw with Nathaniel Hackett, he had drawn up 25,000 plays or something in his career, we found out last year, but then just didn't know how to manage and run the team. There's just so much more than just knowing X's and O's of football, and there's no doubt Nathaniel Hackett knows the X's and O's of football and has drawn up every play known to mankind. He just don't know all the rest of the stuff, and Sean Payton has proven that he knows all the rest of the stuff, except you talk about the coaching staff. He didn't know one of his coaches for a while.
That was funny.
Marcus Dixon and Christian Parker, the 2 holdovers from last year's staff, he talked very highly about, said these guys, you could tell they just loved ball, and then said they just have so much talent and potential as coaches, but said for a couple of weeks, he would see Marcus Dixon in the hallway and say, how's the workout going? Did you have a nice lift today? And Marcus Dixon got mad at him and said, I'm not a player. I'm a coach. I'm one of your coaches.
It is, but again, I get it. I would struggle learning that many names. Definitely kind of a crazy thing.
I certainly would.
Because there's also he brought him in to help with interviews. Yeah. Remember that? That was part of, he was in there for...
Pretty much means you have the job.
Exactly. Like, and just like, hey, I was lift today. It's like you were. I was right there for all that.
Wait, but isn't it kind of a compliment because he's in such good shape?
Oh,
that you
100%.
and that's the thing.
sense him, like,
Yeah.
It is frustrating, like, on a personal level, but
Right.
physically, aren't you, like, a little like, oh, I still got it?
You know who Sean Payton probably knows now by heart? Probably knows who Marcus Dixon
Yeah.
is. And so, I mean, pretty funny moment. And Sean is still having these human moments. I mean, today he said, I finally know how to get home now. And
Yep.
it seems like I-25 is a big street that everyone needs to know. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's true. He's learning his ways around Denver. He's learning the names around the facility.
Also, just Marcus Dixon, 2 years with the Cowboys, 3 years with the Jets, practice squad with the Chiefs. The next year's practice squad with the Titans, and then winds up playing in the Canadian League. Again, that last year was 2014. He's only 38.
Yeah.
6'4", 295. You get how you could look at him and be like, yeah, it's one of our defensive
I
linemen.
would have loved it so much if Sean Payton coached him at the same
That
time.
would be great.
That would have been so
Right.
funny
That'd
when
be
he was on
great.
the practice squad at some point.
that would have been really good. One final thing to just keep an eye on. Keep an eye on Caden Stearns. Caden Stearns got some compliments, I believe, from Justin Simmons after practice today. The Broncos brought back Kareem Jackson, and last week when I asked Sean Payton about it, he made no guarantees about who the starter was going to be. Keep an eye on Caden Stearns, number 30. The Broncos have been waiting for him to kind of break out and be that guy. Just because Kareem Jackson's back, Henry, I don't think means that Caden is absolutely taking a back seat. I think he's got a chance to be that guy this year.
I think so too.
Hey,
I think
you're on camera.
and that's why I didn't flip Brandon off.
No, but you
we've
went-
got
Yeah, because I was frustrated. I couldn't keep it all in. That was me holding back from flipping him off.
When do I get to be on this pod?
Yeah,
You wanna be
we'd love to
invited?
have you
Yeah,
on.
whenever you
I
want.
want to do some.
Let's go. Let's get Brandon
Yes.
on for some football talk.
Do I fit the credentials to do some football talk?
You
I think
fit every credential.
You're not as buff as us. We'd like you to
There is that.
bring a little more meat.
Yeah, some of
and
us
then
have
you
real
could be
playing
on.
experience.
Yeah, it's true.
I never played football. Yeah, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Spano.
Dude, the hair looks great, Zach.
Oh, I think right back at you.
I love the hair. I love the hair. Hank, you've had the same hair you've always had.
Okay, there we go. That's good enough for me.
But shit, here we are.
Oh, there we
There
go.
we
Here we
Live.
go. Hey, get out of my fucking chair, you hear? What are we doing here?
Just get out of the studio, you
All right,
hear?
all right.
Wow.
Go.
There we go.
Find something to
Producer
do.
Spano.
Find
I
something to do.
love it.
All right, so coming up next. Oh shit, what do I do? Whoa, dude, I'm gonna shut this down.
We've got a guest
Wow.
coming on. If you would like to tune them in, Brandon, just pull them up and bring them onto the show.
Are you serious? This is like that show. You know the show when the CEO goes down to work
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
with the people and he doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Undercover boss, yeah.
All right.
And they're like, yeah, I'm not sure if this guy's cut out for the job and he's the boss.
One football question.
Yeah, what do you
We
got?
need 3 Broncos who can make their first Pro Bowl this year.
Okay, 3 Broncos that can make their first Pro Bowl this year. Jerry Jeudy.
Good one. Yep.
It's number one.
Yep.
You want to phone a friend?
Man,
Roster must be in a tough spot.
Lifeline. Did Surtain make the Pro Bowl last
He
year?
did. He got his first last
so
year.
pretty
Okay.
much Sutton, Surtain, and Simmons are all off the board.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson. He's
Yeah.
also made one.
Yeah.
Not quite sure he's run that way.
Javonte.
Javonte's a good one.
Javonte.
Javonte's a great one.
Especially the way he's looking now. He's
And then,
practicing.
Any of those linemen?
No, I think I'd go pass rusher.
Okay. Randy Gregory?
No.
Baron Browning?
No. Yeah, Browning.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That's a good one.
Browning's
That's a
guy.
good one.
He's
Yeah.
flashed.
We'll make the
Yeah.
graphic.
Man, you know
Yeah.
ball. We can invite you.
Yeah. I'm really upset that you guys have never invited me onto the podcast.
That's true.
You know
That
what?
is true.
I think I know some people. We can make that change.
Yeah. Zach's in charge of guests.
Wow, dude, we already have the animated head.
I have a cartoon head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't
So you're
get
set.
used that much.
Oh, that'll change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll change.
So what are we talking about today?
We were at practice.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
So,
you
but we're
know-
not allowed to say anything.
Yeah, you know the new media rules. With Sean Payton in town,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not allowed
I
to say
saw that
anything.
he said, I let you guys get your little Twitter
yeah.
things
Yeah.
in. and
He said, "You guys got to talk to the rookies in rookie minicamps," and I've taken Twitter away. That's a fair trade-off.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Taking Twitter away for 5 years, however long he's here.
Yeah.
As
Someone
opposed
should have
to
took Twitter away from him when he was retired.
We aren't allowed to have our phones at practice.
Wow.
Yeah, we can't even pull phones
well,
out.
It's like a
1970s.
comedy show.
It really is.
You know when you walk in, you put it in a little,
Yeah.
you put it in a little Ziploc, and then it's sitting there, it's like buzzing, and you don't know what's going on.
I know. I got
just
a
gotta
phone call
rush.
today and panicked. I was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And so I just like turned it off in my pocket. Because I was scared somebody would see me pull it out and look at who it was.
Dude, you guys want to hear a quick story real
love,
quick?
Yes.
love Spano stories.
So this was back in 2010, and I was in the locker room, and you're not allowed to take pictures in the locker room.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
Broncos
Yeah.
101.
This is Josh McDaniels too,
Yeah,
right?
no, this was John Fox, 2011.
Oh,
maybe.
2011.
This was
Sorry, I
John
thought you said
Fox.
2010.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might have been 2011.
So
then.
way better.
I'm guessing the year, honestly.
Yeah.
Tebow year. So was that 12 then?
That was
11,
11.
Okay,
Yeah.
11. Okay. And I just saw this player playbook that I was named hilarious to me, and I wanted to take a picture of it just for. I wasn't going to tweet it,
Yeah.
just for personal satisfaction. John Fox was such an old school ball coach, corny guy, and the way he, his whole thing was like he wanted the best players to play special teams. Like
Yep.
there's special
Yeah.
teams guys,
Say that.
but like he wanted good special teams. And I thought those were pretty good special teams units back then.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And his slogan sounds like it is something that would be told in first grade. On each playbook, it said, "Only special players play special teams."
It's so good.
And I thought only special players
Yep.
play special teams.
Yep.
It's
Wow.
like such a fun. And
That's such a nice pat on the back to Jimmy in first grade, like you said.
Exactly. And like Brian Dawkins or something, he wasn't
Yep.
playing. So
Right.
then he could just pat you and be like, "Oh yeah, buddy, you're like, yeah, you're a little special player,
That is so
You're special.
Man, Jock's fun is.
But I took a picture of that, and like Patrick Smythe and Eric Schubert
Yeah.
They saw it.
met me.
Yeah.
Like,
I will- yeah.
as I'm walking out. Like, can we look at your phone? I'm like, wait, hold on. They're like, did you take a picture? I'm like, no. They're like, did you take it? I'm like, so someone saw a security cam or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yep.
And, it's like the White House in there.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
And I'm like, I did take a picture of the thing. They're like, okay, can you show us it? And he's like, can you delete it in front of us? Yeah, delete it.
And then they threw your phone down and smashed it into oblivion.
Exactly. Then they waterboarded me.
Ask for your iCloud
So that
password.
you could never remember this moment. So you
Yes.
can never tell this story.
That's
Yep.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Men in Black.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard that if Sean sees a phone out, he's not afraid to go over and yell at the reporter and kick him out.
Wow.
So we'll see.
Wow, it's a
Yep.
strong play.
Yep, it is. It is.
It's a strong
It's
play.
his way.
So how's the culture now compared to what it used to be?
It's football culture now, which,
Oh,
like, again, for us is really annoying because we're not allowed to say anything that happens. But I think it's kind of what was needed after Nathaniel Hackett wanted to be everybody's friend.
Yeah.
It's kind of like around here. There's a saying around here: Spano's way or the highway.
Yeah,
It's,
right.
it's Sean's way or the highway. It's actually not like that around here at all, but it is very much like that around there. Brandon, it's like if you had your hand in everything that was done at this company,
Right.
Not just like
Yeah.
top down stuff, but like in every single room you have your hand in. That's what Sean's doing, and he told us that's what it was going to be. He called those the details in his opening press conference, that he's going to be involved in the details, and he cares about the details, and he's taken that to an extreme. And
Yeah.
if it turns into winning, then the extremes work.
Yeah, I think that, but yeah, I would assume though that from like a management standpoint, he allows. Maybe I know he's really tied to offense, but I'm sure the defensive coordinator gets to do his thing, linebackers coach doing
Right,
their thing.
right.
It probably scales down like that. But
But if there's something he doesn't like, he'll be over there quick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's an all-time great coach.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
maybe.
He's Hall of Famer.
He's an all-time
He's like a
great
fringe-
offensive
fringe,
coach,
yeah.
for sure. I mean,
Definitely.
he's pretty much all. I think 1 year he didn't have a top 10 offense in 15 seasons.
Did he open a Super Bowl or open the half with an onside kick?
He did,
Yeah.
yeah,
Was
against
it
Payton.
a half?
Baller, half, yeah.
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 That'd be cool to open the season with an onside kick.
Man, especially with a brand new kicker, Elliot
Yeah.
Fry, after cutting Brandon
Wow.
McManus.
How was
that'd be
the
gutsy.
what was our fan sentiment about McManus getting cut? Broncos Country? Did they
Very
hate that?
sad. I mean, he's been an icon. Like he's one of the Broncos everybody knows. Like I was with Lexi's roommate the day it happened. She was like, I can't believe they did that. Like, how could they do that to Brandon McManus? Like he was a fan favorite.
It's a risk. It's a move that Nathaniel Hackett couldn't have made. A rookie head coach coming in, cutting Brandon McManus, and then bringing in a guy who has 6 career kicks. That's who their new kicker is. 6 career kicks for a guy that has 274. But Sean Payton, he has everything behind him.
McManus was really he wasn't reliable last year.
No,
He
And the
wasn't
thing
reliable.
about kickers is like kickers are better than they've ever been.
yeah.
Like if you miss kicks down the stretch, you're done.
Yep.
Because there's kids on TikTok that are probably like NFL caliber kickers that aren't kicking professional.
Well, just look at the Chiefs last year. Their kicker got hurt for a couple of games, right? And they had fine replacement.
Yeah.
In fact, didn't a position player came in and kicked
Justin
for them
Reed.
for one game?
Yeah.
Justin Reed,
the safety.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps if you can score 5 touchdowns a game, but
Yeah, extra points are easier than field goals.
yeah.
Maybe that's Sean Payton's statement this year. We're not going to kick extra points. We're just
Wow.
going to go for 2.
In that case, they'd probably not go for Fry because he's better at field goals than extra points. He's played 3 NFL games, missed an extra point in 2 of them.
Yeah. Wow, this podcast is really it's a dark place right now.
Another fun thing that Sean Payton said today. So he got asked about Marcus Callaway and said he's a little bit overweight. So we're waiting for him to just cut that weight down. He's going to look good. But he also said he likes skill position players who are still at their college weight. He doesn't want any more on them. He wants them coming in straight out of college at the weight they played at college, which was just kind of surprising to hear.
At the same time, he's signing massive tight ends, and clearly it shows that he has specific types for certain positions.
Yeah, but it's like you want Marvin Mims, a little guy. Like Jerry Jeudy kind of fits that mold where he's just like that small, quick, little whatever, trying to trade Cortland Sutton.
It's really good news for Marvin Mims because when you look at him, you say well, he's undersized. He needs to put on some weight right now, and you don't need that.
Definitely.
According to Sean.
And there's all the stats about all the rookie receivers who've been successful under him.
Producer Spano, do you want to pull up some comments on the show?
I have no idea. So I'm reading them though. I'm actually looking at the screen. This would be the part where I would just read them like I was in radio.
Oh, yeah. we need radio.
So Bob in Littleton says that. But I better let Yahir back in.
No, he just went and grabbed some
I
Doritos.
mean, Yahir is literally having snack time right now.
Here, pull up Jose's comment here.
We're gonna have Radio Spano read this one for us from our friend Jose.
McManus got sabotaged by poor coaching last year. 2 60-yarders, 2 blocks, and 1 laces inside F-up. Dude, that's actually true.
Yeah. Like it's an all-time bad special teams unit. Like they lost 15 points by Football Outsiders just on special teams. And it's just like an estimate of field position, all that stuff. But like when you're talking about the lowest scoring team in the NFL, 15 points over the course of the season could have made a difference in some of those games.
Especially with how many close games they lost.
Yep.
Oh, dude, 15 points for the Broncos last year?
Yeah.
That was like 150 points.
Exactly.
Dude, 15 points is an incredible amount of points for the Broncos last year.
It really, and like the 260-yarders, McManus' stats above 50-yard kicks were really bad, but outside of that, pretty rock solid, except from 30 to 39, which just didn't make sense.
And that's probably just fluke. Well, I mean, that's where the 2 blocks were, I think.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
They're both pretty low, though. But yeah, I mean, there's an argument to be made.
What's Numby's Chiefs? What does that mean?
Numbies, that's my nickname, and just I mentioned the Chiefs.
Because his tweets do Numbies.
Typically, it's Hank that's mentioning the Chiefs, so it's kind of notable when someone else mentions them.
I know. Everybody thinks I like the Chiefs, but I'm really just scared of them. It just means that I say nice things about them because they're really good.
Say nice things about them.
It's tough when you have like this well-oiled. You're talking football.
Yeah.
In football, we love execution and great quarterback play and planning and all this stuff. And so, it's like you hate this rival team, but they're like doing all these things that you want your team to do.
Yep.
And it's like, you're kind of stuck.
And they've won 15 in a row against the Broncos. How can I not be scared and say that they're a really good football team?
Well, and one of the things that Sean Payton's doing is he's not afraid to address the Chiefs and say, that's who we need to beat. That's who we need to take over in order to win the AFC, in order to make the playoffs and be a championship caliber team. Whereas last year, Nathaniel Hackett didn't want to put that on this team, but that's who the Broncos are going after. And so how do you beat them? Well, you got to outscore them, and you have to do things that the Chiefs do.
Yeah. The Broncos did slow them down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to score 30 to beat the Chiefs.
No, they haven't. Especially with this defense. I mean, it's going to be interesting what Vance Joseph's able to do against Mahomes, especially Vance Joseph's an aggressive defensive coordinator. Being aggressive against Patrick Mahomes is pretty dicey.
Yeah, but the snow game was Patrick Mahomes, wasn't it? Vance Joseph's Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
That was.
I mean, that was a close game.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Mahomes plays well in snow, but which is wild. But that was a close game. The Broncos and you should play your division opponents tough. Doesn't matter who they are.
Right.
Right? Like, that's just historical, right? Like, if you look at the Patriots' losses over the years, the 2 to 4 that they've had, like the Dolphins are always one, or the Jets are one, even though those teams were terrible during that time.
Right.
Because you have, and Sean Payton, all the coaches from that era, and I'm sure it's prevalent around the league. This probably isn't super special, but for sure that there's a guy on the scout team that he has the Chiefs this year.
Right.
Like his job is Chiefs.
Yep.
It's like, what do you do for the Denver Broncos? I watch the Chiefs, and like they have, these guys that are locked in on division and they know every single cadence and every,
Right.
So,
well, and we just talked about the head coaching power rankings yesterday on the show. We had Andy Reid number 1 last year. Nathaniel Hackett would have been 32, depending on at what time you looked at this. The year before, Vic Fangio would have been probably bottom 5. And then Vance Joseph before, bottom 5, bottom 10 as well. Now, Sean Payton's number 4 on that list, and everyone's top 5. That's a massive advantage that the Broncos have this year, which they have not had since Gary Kubiak was here. And so that's something that the Broncos are finally going to have a step that's close to the Chiefs on, because Andy Reid's a hell of a coach, but now the Broncos have that too.
Just an adult in charge.
Plus, they lost Bieniemy, so we'll see. I mean,
True.
There's a lot of things, a lot of decisions that were made by Bieniemy that people don't realize.
You think it hurts them?
Well, they brought back, it's Andy Reid, but so they have guys in there that are Kafka State, right?
Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And they brought back Nagy.
Yeah, so they've had Nagy. He knows the system, and Kafka's like the guy. They love Kafka.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter.
either.
The Broncos are going to be better, and the defense can play Mahomes. You just got to be able to. You have to pressure him fast.
Yep.
With few people.
You have to make it to where they have to check down the whole time, and then you hold them to some field goals, and then you have to score touchdowns.
And that's why Randy Gregory is going to be so huge for the Broncos this year.
If he
Potentially,
plays.
if he can stay healthy.
If he plays.
I know. That's every football story, though.
Yeah, definitely. And the
As long
Broncos
as
in
we can stay
particular.
healthy.
Like leading the league in 5 of the last 7 years in ACL tears and top 3 in the others.
I mean, that was a big thing with the Chiefs. They had the fewest people on injured reserve last year.
Yeah.
And when the Broncos made their run in 2015, they also were remarkably healthy as well. I
And
mean,
in-
pretty much any Super Bowl team you look at, it's because they were healthy.
And in
Plus,
2013,
really good.
when they didn't win it, they didn't have Chris Harris playing. They didn't have Von Miller playing.
Derek Wolf.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can go through the list. It was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, healthy teams win.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Broncos haven't been healthy since the Super Bowl.
Yep. And that's why Sean Payton blew out the entire staff and brought in not only his own guys, but Sean Payton brought in double the staff that they had last year to deal with that.
Well, the thing I love about Sean Payton as a football guy is that Sean Payton is a really out-of-the-box guy. And so, the one thing that I don't love, I respect and I get, especially when the system is ran really well, is there's this thing in football, it's system teams versus game plan teams.
Right.
Okay? And what that means is that some teams, they say, this is our system, this is who we run against everybody, no matter what, and we know that you have to do this to stop it, and once you do that, we're going to do this, and once we know that you have to do this to stop that, and once you do that, we're going to do this,
Right.
and this is how our system works, and this is what we do, and we run it better than everybody else, right? So that's Mike Shanahan, right?
Right.
Gary Kubiak, right? It's the
Yep.
same thing, right? Then there is game plan teams. And what they say is, we don't have a system. This is the Patriots, right?
Yep.
We may
Most
run it.
notable.
The only team that's ever ran it 50 times and passed it 50 times in a single game in a single season.
Yep.
Right? So they had one game they ran it 50 times, one
Yep.
game where they passed it 50 times
Incredible.
in the same season.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter, because they say we don't have an identity.
Right.
Yep.
What are you weak at? That's what we do.
Yep.
Right? And that's Andy Reid's similar, right? It's a little mixed, but it's kind of like you saw them, with the Pacheco later in the year and run, and then they went more check down, then whatever, right? Payton is he's a game plan guy, right? He's if I have a quarterback that can play tight end and running back and fullback, right? Hey, we're going to create a package for him. I'm going to pull a Hall of Famer out on third down and convert a bunch of those, right? I mean, Taysom Hill scored like 8 touchdowns in a year for Sean Payton, right? I mean, that was a Sean Payton creation, is Taysom Hill.
Yep.
There's not a lot of teams in the league that Taysom Hill is taking snaps for.
Yep.
And that's not to say the Broncos are going to run some special package at quarterback. That's just to say, like, that's who he had. He liked the player. They created something, and it is what it is, right? It's just like, that could be Wildcat. That could be like whatever. So there are players on the Broncos team where you could say, hey, there's guys, Hamler, that is really has a unique skill set that we could see creative things built for.
Right.
Yep.
The Broncos haven't been that.
No.
Really, as long as I can remember, actually.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful, because nowadays the league is so athletic that it's about matchups. And so what you want to do is get these guys that have these elite skill sets in certain categories and put them in the best position to win when it matters.
Right.
Doesn't mean the whole game plan's around
right,
that,
right.
but that's what you see. And so it's like, that could be on 3rd and 4, whereas the last coaching staff thought creative was a tight end screen.
Right.
This creative may be something that's actually looks a lot more appealing, right?
Well, and when we talked to Sean at the Super Bowl, I believe Henry asked him, like, what's the most impressive feat that you've ever done? He said, one time I had 4 undrafted guys score a touchdown in a game, and it was because he was able to draw that open and scheme that open. It wasn't just, okay, you're a good football player, go out and beat someone else. And that's why, for me, Sean, like you're saying, he's going to be able to work to the players, not just implement a system. That's why it's so huge that Russell Wilson, people are worried that Russell Wilson is he going to be able to be Drew Brees and be a pocket passer? Sean's not going to ask Russell Wilson to be a pocket passer like they tried to last year. Sean's going to say, what are you good at? I'm going to make sure that we're going to run with Russ and work off play action and build to Russ's strengths. Did you just pull up a comment?
Dude, I pulled
Look
up a
at
comment.
you.
I pulled up a comment.
Yeah, you're
Dude,
so
what do we
proud.
pay you? You
Yeah,
hear?
you're
Way
so
too
proud.
much. Way too much. Yeah, this guy, but this is right. So he says the Broncos team is nothing like any Saints team. Sean is going to play smash. This is the point, though.
Right.
The
Exactly.
point is that the team will play based on their personnel and who they're playing against. So that's exactly right, right? And they very well could play smash mouth football. And then you may have a running back go down, and they may not have to. They might not be able to play smash.
Right.
They may have to play something else.
Right.
But you do have a lot of different assets on the Broncos that aren't fully utilized.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Again,
and-
like you're trying to find a way. We talked about before. Can they find a way to get a tight end or get Greg Dulcich lined up on a linebacker? Because if you get that, you love it. Like then all of a sudden you have that mismatch. It's all about every single game just figuring out which mismatch you want and how you force the defense to give you that mismatch based on personnel.
Yep, exactly.
I better get out of here.
That's some
Yeah.
great insight.
Yeah.
I better
You
get out
know,
of
we're
here too.
not allowed to say a lot of things about the practice. This is perfect. Maybe we'll have
Yeah.
Spano drop-ins on Thursday.
Yeah.
Spano Thursdays.
Yes.
Wow,
Where just
Spurs
any
days.
point from between 2 and 3, you just come in and you take us off. You take us off the rails.
There we go.
That's some good ball talk.
Hey, I love doing ball talk. So, did you guys end up liking the schedule? I forgot I was going to ask you that.
For the Broncos,
yeah, definitely.
I know
Yeah.
that was like 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. So
Definitely.
I'm just like catching up.
Yeah.
I'm like jumping in. I'm
coming
catching
out of
up.
your hole
Yeah.
for an hour a day.
Yeah. Getting away from the spreadsheets.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible schedule. I mean, so much easy stuff early. That's all I wanted. Like,
It's
just give yourself a chance late.
it gives them a chance to start hot, but if they don't start 3-1, they're toast. And a big reason for that is they play the Chiefs 3 times in 2 weeks, and then they play the Jets
2 times
and
in
the
3 weeks.
What'd I say? Yeah,
2
times.
That would be
3
tough.
weeks.
3 times in 2 weeks.
That'd be
That
tough.
would really suck.
that'd be
That
rough.
would really suck. And that's right after their first 4 games. First 4 games, Raiders at home. They haven't beat the Raiders in 6 straight games, but should win that one. Commanders at home should win that one. All the Commanders 500 team, and then you go on the road to Miami. Who's Miami going to be at that point? They terrible team.
Well, we
second
just
half of the
don't
season.
know who they
Great.
are, yeah.
Right,
Yep.
exactly. And then you have the Bears on the road. Henry thinks the Bears are trash. I think the Bears
I think
are.
the Bears
bad.
are good.
I think the Bears
What?
are.
I think the
They
Bears
were the
are
worst
good.
team in
I'm
the
right
NFL
with ya.
last year. They're
I'm right with
terrible.
ya.
Oh, I think they're good. They lost a bunch of close games last. Justin Fields is one of my
He can't
favorite
throw the
players
football.
this
Yeah.
year. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Trust me. I watched every Bears play like it mattered because it did matter. And I'm telling you, dude, first off, he had a one drive. We can't turn this into a Bears podcast, but he had a drop. He had 2 game-winning touchdown drops. I saw there was a 4th and long pass, perfect, that he converted that was dropped to end the game. There was a possession he was going to have that they muffed the punt. He didn't even get his game-winning possession.
Because
I'm
they're a
telling
bad
you.
team around him,
I'm
too.
telling you. Yeah, but they're young.
They spent tons of money in
They're
free agency
young.
too.
They brought in a bunch of receivers. Dude,
I'm pretty sure Fields had the lowest
Love
on-target
Justin
pass
Fields.
percentage last year.
and he is the most dynamic play-for-play
There is that.
running quarterback in NFL history already.
Yep.
Not Lamar.
Already. No, I said play for play. Lamar over the span of hey, let's attack during the whole game. Justin Fields he's the only
80-yard run, that stuff.
Yeah, I mean he's the only quarterback that's ever. He had 3 60-yard touchdown runs in a single season. Only quarterback.
Okay.
So he at any moment is if he breaks this, it's a touchdown. That's different than even Vic, right?
Yep.
And I'm not saying he's attacking the game like those guys, but just he's at any given moment you may have a touchdown if Justin Fields is on there.
Especially this year when he's still very young, as athletic as ever.
Totally.
We're not taking stock of him for the next 10 years, but just right now. And I think Hank and I actually have a pizza bet on that. So I'm right with you, Brandon.
Yeah.
I think the Bears are going to be dangerous.
I'm not impressed.
All right, boys, I'll let you get back to your show. I don't know how to take these down, so every time I bring one up, the comments actually, I do know now.
We've got a professional behind you ready to
Boom.
take over.
Look at that.
Dang. Look at that. We're doing a show at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Brandon. You want to be our producer?
Oh, I didn't know you needed an expert production around these parts.
We do. It's because you don't micromanage like some other people.
How long were we on? Oh, did we skip ad reads? Am I going to get in trouble
I think
here?
we're good.
No, we just go as long. We'll drop an ad read right after you leave.
All right,
See,
boys.
you come in right after the ad read, you leave before an ad read. It's a perfect
All right.
situation
Hey,
for you.
DNVR Broncos fan, thanks for letting me crash your guys' podcast. Make sure you buy our Nuggets shirts at
Sick
DNVRlocker.com.
shirt. Come by the bar tonight. Drink some Breckenridge beer when you're here. I mean, the bar's probably already packed.
Oh, it's probably packed right now.
Yeah, because we're in
Oh,
Studio
yeah.
B. Studio A overlooks the bar, so we can see it. But we're in Studio B right now. By the way, a very new, redone, awesome Studio B, and we can't see the bar, but I bet it's so packed. And we're 3 hours away from tip-off.
Hey, what's the records on DNVR Madden League for you guys?
I'm probably
I'm
better
s-
than Hank.
I think I'm 7-9 right now.
Damn, I'm 6-11.
6-9.
Oh
I
man,
know. No, 6-10. So I've got.
So I
I've
must
got
be
a chance.
7-9.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
Yep.
you're just a cellar dweller at all times, Zach.
Wow. I think I was better than Henry last year, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
I just missed so many games now.
Oh, so that's the reason he's not committed to the league. At least I'm
I'm
committed. To the
committed.
league.
I'm going to Montana tomorrow. There's just nothing I can do. I'm going to lose again.
Hey, let him be committed to his job.
Yeah, Zach, maybe try it sometime.
Yeah, playing
That's
with
what
community
I
part of
say.
your
That's when
job.
they say
Ryan
no
would
video
say.
games aren't.
That is what
All right,
Ryan would
boys.
say. All right,
See you guys.
Love
See ya.
Thursdays with Spano.
Spurs
Spano
days.
Thursdays. A little Spano spree. Yeah, here loves it. Yeah,
Spanos.
how many bags of chips did you just eat? You hear? Just one. Okay. Snack time. Spano time is snack time for you here. Yeah, he's looking
Yeah,
great.
he is looking
Yeah,
trim.
yeah. Beach vacation. You were showing it all off.
Good to go.
Good to go. Yeah, here. Welcome back.
It feels decent to be back.
Everything's still up and running?
Let's check.
I think it seems good. I think Spano killed it.
I mean, he didn't mess it up, which is all we can ask for.
You know
That
what?
is.
You know what it is? What time it is right now? It's not just snack time. It's not just Spano time. It's game time because we are 3 hours away for tip-off with the Denver Nuggets and their first NBA Finals game. And this is about the time when tickets are going to be perfectly priced. I know some people in this company are going to the game tonight. And some people in this company do not have tickets yet. So they're probably checking out Game Time right now. Use that code DNVR. You're going to get $20 off. Do you have Game Time pulled up for the game tonight?
I do. I'll pull it up. Right. I'm still checking it right now.
What's get-in price for the Nuggets game? 3 hours and 15 minutes before we tip off.
I want to start with this morning. It was at $700 to get in. Right now,
$680 by using code DNVR.
Exactly, $680.
Yep.
Right now, it just dropped to $450.
$450.
Oh, that's a steal.
So it is dropping, guys. Go over to Game Time. First, let me buy my tickets, then go over. But you should go to Game Time. It's a great app. We use it all the time, and DNVR code gives me $20 off, so it's perfect.
$430 using that code DNVR to get in, and you might say, holy shit, that's still a lot of money. And there's no doubt it's still a lot of money, but last year, get-in price for the Avs in the Stanley Cup was over $1,000.
Yeah.
So you want to experience a championship atmosphere, a championship game here in Denver, $430 is a bargain compared to last year. So check out our friends over at Game Time, download Game Time, and use that promo code DNVR to get $20 off.
And also become a diehard with us. There's so many perks if you do it. You get a free shirt when you sign up, and every year after, you get 20% off merch all the time, 20% off events. You get to join our Discord. You get 15% off your tab at the bar. Tonight, there's a cover to get in. It's like a $10 cover to get into the bar. Diehards, they actually get in free. And I'm pretty sure they also get the free beer that comes with it.
Not just a free beer, a free Breck brew.
Free Breckenridge brew, no cover if you're a member for this game tonight. So many awesome perks, so make sure that you do it. There's a whole bunch of specials going on. I mentioned the $4 Fun Slingers. There's specials on Rakia. There's...
Is that how you pronounce it?
Rakia,
yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's spelled
like Rakia, right?
It's spelled like garage.
Rajika. Yeah,
Rajika.
that's weird. So definitely do that.
It's also $1 shots an hour before tip
Dollar shots.
of Rakia. So
Of
if you want
Rakia.
to
You know what
get
a shot
tribuned
is?
up,
Yes, I know what a shot is. I'm about to have 7. They're actually having shots right now already.
Who?
everybody.
girlfriend.
Wow,
No,
we got to get you out of here.
I guarantee you, if you go down to the bar right now, people are already drinking. They're gonna get sloppy, and it's gonna be fun when the Nuggets beat that ass.
Oh, yeah.
beat that once.
Ass. Ever heard of an ass?
Is that it? You told us what we needed to hear?
Yep.
All right.
You hear?
Should we jump into the comment section?
Yep.
Henry, I mean this in a very serious way.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to go, you can go.
Nope.
We're in the comment section.
We'll fly
I
through.
can talk to the people myself.
We'll fly through.
Okay. We got a super chat coming in from our friend Stephen Sholey. He says, all about giving Hank crap, but calling him Montana State fan is uncalled for. Hashtag go Grizz.
Exactly.
Do you agree? Did I take it over the line?
Oh, yeah.
Am I gonna?
That's the worst thing you can say to a
Am I gonna be
person.
talked to by HR tomorrow?
Do we? People say we have one.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, we have one. It's
It's
just not
here.
very good.
Oh, okay, we
Wow, not very. Do you get in
Oh.
trouble for calling HR not very good?
No, I know
if it
because
was better, we would.
I know who HR is, and it's not a particular person. I'll tell you guys afterwards. But we
Is
will
it
get
like
to
a figment of our imagination?
Is it you?
No, I'm good at my job, just not HR.
okay.
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
But
what
also,
was the question? Oh
it's-
yeah,
it's
how?
okay to call Hank a Montana State fan because you haven't seen him in his Montana State gear. Like
Because I don't have any.
he
Because
rocks
otherwise,
it all the time.
That's true,
So
yeah.
like it's different.
Actually, he is wearing a hoodie to cover it
those
right
rich
now.
little losers.
Yeah, rich little losers. He got him. Boom.
Alex Singleton, get ready.
Go back to California. Hey, guess who actually is that from California?
Who?
Alex Singleton, because that's where they all go.
So they are rich then.
Yeah.
Well, Alex is rich right now. We all know that.
He really
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Okay, let's dive in on the website. The count says, perhaps, like our case, Shady Rays, Russ's running game has not been lost, merely misplaced, only to be discovered by a divisor. What's the worst thing you've ever lost, never to be found by you again? Love? The count. What have you lost? Ryan would say he misplaced his Shady Rays.
I have one.
What?
I lost this hope that the Broncos gave me every year, and I have not been able to find it.
Damn. Do you think you'll find it before September 12th?
I think it's going to have to be on September 12th. It's going to be that day.
Damn, that's a good one. That's a dark, depressing, but good one.
I don't lose a lot of things.
You don't lose a lot of things?
No.
Just
Oh.
you're
He
trying to
just
get
lost
this.
that fly.
Yeah, you're trying to
about
get
to
this
lose its
fly
life.
lost. Wow.
That's a good question.
Sign Prime says Hank is kind of like the younger, obnoxious brother. I mean that with all due respect. Salute. Do you respect it?
Yeah, sure.
Just
I'll
give
take it.
Respect. Salute. What's something you've lost, Hank?
I just
Hold on,
can't
I'm
even
trying
think
to
of anything.
Trying to think.
I'm sure there's been a pod where he talks about losing something, and he just doesn't. I don't remember what it is.
Loses his lover.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
No.
Not his current one.
No.
Well, maybe
She's
if she's
over
taking
there.
shots right now. And
She's at the party.
He's sitting with me right now.
Wow. I just can't even think of anything I've
Before
lost.
we let you go to the party, you gotta tell us something you lost.
My dad lost his John Elway jersey.
My God, I thought he
You
was taking that a
didn't.
different way.
Yeah,
dad-
you didn't lose it
Oh,
though.
oh, wow.
Yeah, your dad lost
wow.
his John Elway jersey. That's
Oh, you lost your deposit on that apartment that you took, the really bad one.
I didn't lose
You lost the
a
deposit?
You
No.
didn't? Oh,
I always
okay.
get my
partying
deposit
at
back.
your house too hard. Is
Oh,
that
I
what's
wish.
happening right now?
Back in the day, we used to throw some crazy parties in college. Living across the street from
All
campus.
you and them shanties going
Damn.
ham.
Freaking shanties.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll let you get out of here on this one. Nash Broncos says, how was the alleged football event that could have taken place today? Be careful to answer very unspecifically. Have you guys noticed any differences in OTAs between this year and last year?
I wasn't
Yes.
there last year, so
Last year, what was one of the things that Nathaniel Hackett was very famous for, not just in OTAs, but throughout training camp?
veteran rest.
Well, the veteran rest, taking 2 of every 3 days off, but then also on top of that, not doing any 7-on-7s, not doing any
True.
individual work. That is happening this year. Sean Payton's not afraid to do 7-on-7s. It's not real football, but it is a good way for receivers and quarterbacks to get their timing down. It's a really good drill for defensive backs in order to try to practice, but guarding one-on-one and man coverage when you're on an island. And then another difference is something we talked about already, how Sean's splitting the field up into 2, so just getting double reps for everyone.
Yep. Again, double reps from the 7-on-7s too.
Yep.
Because those guys can throw and catch. Like, it's not like the offense and defensive line are allowed to do anything right now.
Right.
Why not just go let them work on what they need to work on while you're throwing the ball around?
Yeah, it's a 100% true. Before we get out of here, let's pull up that picture again, you hear? This is Justin Simmons and Pat Surtain after practice, both rocking the NBA Finals Nuggets gear. In 2 weeks, 10 days, they'll be rocking Nuggets championship gear.
hope so.
We'll all be pulling for
I
it
hope so.
just as Justin and Pat are. Pat is from South Florida, could be easily rooting for the Heat, but he's already told all of his Heat friends that he is pulling for the Nuggets. So we'll see Sean Payton at the game today.
Nick Bonito has to take notes, man.
Oh, it's very true. Learn from these two. Learn from the veterans. Learn from your coach. Learn from your captain, Justin Simmons, and the best player on the team, Pat Surtain. We'll all be cheering on the Nuggets tonight. Hank, get out of here. Get some beers in you and enjoy your hungover state of mind tomorrow, as we'll see you on Monday.
I'm going to miss the podcast tomorrow. You guys better not talk shit about me.
Well, see, right? He's already tapping out for tomorrow. But no,
I'm a
no
plane,
shit will
I'm
be
a flight.
talked. We love you, Henry. Get out of here. Go Nuggets, and stay tuned tomorrow's pod. We'll be talking more Broncos.